And Shalom. All praise to the Most High, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Bukakadash, and double honors to the apostles of the Jamis, and to the bishops, the elders, and all the sincere brethren that labor in the truth that goes the world, and to all the sincere brethren and sisters that listen to the truth. And I pray this lesson be another edifying lessons to the flocks, and wherever the Most High wants to hear this message that it be heard. And before I begin the lesson, I will introduce the true name of the Father, which is Yahweh, and the name is mean He exists, and the true name of the Son is Yahweh Shahamashiach, which means the Redeemer or the Deliverer. And so they come into redeem His people, which is the nation of Israel. And in today's age, they identify them as the so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native Americans, which scattered in all four corners of the world. It looks like their nations and also practice the custom of the other nations. And with that, that will be it with the introduction of the lesson. And today's lesson is the dietary laws basically, and you'll find that in two books primarily in the Bible, which is Leviticus 11, the whole chapter from 1 through 47, and then you'll find it in the Deuteronomy 14, basically verse 3 all the way to verse 21. So when you read it in the Leviticus 11, it gives you like a real description, like a real in-depth of the entire law, or what to eat or what not to eat. And when you read the Deuteronomy 4 of chapter 14 verse 3 to 21, you can kind of give you like a summary of what to eat and what not to eat. So I'm gonna read Deuteronomy 14, and Lord willing I can do 11 in the near future. Basically, the dietary laws, which is like a kryptonite for a lot of Israelites, because a lot of Israelite will tell you once Yahweh shall die, he say he forgives our sin, or you can eat anything you want. And you get people that uses when Peter's dreams as a way to eat unclean animals. And I have people personally fight me that I can eat whatever I want as long as I pray on it. And there are people that's upset at you because you want to follow the law according to the Bible. We have to also be honest. We in Babylon the Great. Everything we eat is not going to be according to the law, because we don't really know what we eat at time. You can buy meat and you think you're eating something lawful, and it mix it with something unlawful, especially when you go to a restaurant. When you buy your food, even though you ask for something that's according to the law, let's just say you go to a restaurant, you order some goat, some beef or lamb. Guess what? The same oil that they use to make that beef, they also use it to make shrimp, lobster, or whatever abominable meat they were eating before, pork. They're like right next to one another, dude. So basically, you go to somebody's house, they offer you something of food. Guess what? 99% of the time, they still have something that's unlawful that's go with it. So you can't really go 100% lawful unless you cook it yourself. So we're gonna read the book of Deuteronomy 14 and 3. Let's see what it says. And I wanted to have a picture too of I was trying to print one last night. I have all those lawful animals and unlawful animals that you can eat. So, but it is what it is. We just read it. And Deuteronomy 14 verse 3, and it says, "You must not eat any detestable animals that are ceremonially unclean." So you're not supposed to eat any abominable animals that are basically animals that are clean. So basically, clean animals are animals that you can eat, and unclean animals are animals you're not supposed to eat. So unclean animals will be considered to be the garbage of the earth. Like before, we used to have garbage on the corner. There was animals that's the main task is to eat anything that's supposed to be garbage, things that you left over you don't need. So these are animals. These are the animals you may eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat. These animals are basically clean because they're the animals that most likely eat grass. So you can eat those animals. And one of the things you're gonna realize is like the animals that you can eat, and 99% of the time they basically prey. So predators, you cannot eat those animals. The animals that eat like a dead animal, they eat carcasses. So you cannot eat those animals. The deer, the gazelle, the roe deer, the wild goat, the edax, the antelope, and the mountain sheep. So these you can eat. And 99% of those animals, what do? They always chew on grass. They always eating leaves. So those animals, they are clean. And those animals share one thing in common: they also prey. You may eat any animal that has completely split hooves and chew the cud. So animal, they have those. Let me see if I can get a quick picture of that. Hooves. So basically, when you look at like a goat, they have those hooves and they have the split in between. Those animals you can eat. However, you have to be careful too, because some animals they have those hooves and they have the split, and you're not supposed to eat them. A perfect example is like a pork and hooves. And the scripture will tell you that later. Let me see if I can get a quick picture of that. Hooves. Hooves. It looks just like this. Goat. Oh, cow hooves. Okay, that should work. Yep. See. Hopefully you can. Give me 1 second. Hopefully. So now you get two kind of hooves. You get the cow, which have the split, and you get the horse, which does not have the split. So that's the animal you have to eat. Alright. You may eat any animals that have completely split hooves, which is cow, goat, sheep, and chew the cud. Let me see what's chew the cud. Chew the cud. So basically, those animals that basically whenever they eat, they regurgitate it basically in their stomach. So those those are the animals that you can eat. What was that again? But if the animal doesn't have both, it may not be eaten. So basically, if it doesn't chew the cud or have like a split hooves, like I showed you earlier, like the horse, you can't eat the animal because that's an unclean animal. Or some people will be like looking at horse, they'll be like, wait, what do you mean that's an unclean animal? That's a nice animal. Eat the exact same thing to eat grass. That is very true, but you're not supposed to eat it. Why? Because it's unclean. It's the Heavenly Father Yahweh that said that. If that person that built the car told you don't put this kind of fluid in the car because it will damage the car, what do? You don't do it. Don't be like, ah man, I think I should be able to put it. Alright, go put it and see what happens. So you may not eat the camel. So you cannot eat the camel. And I know a lot of people eat camels. Like if you go to the Middle East, the hair or the hyrax, they chew the cud but do not have split hooves. So basically they chew the cud like the goat or like a cow or like a lamb. But guess what? But they don't have split hooves. So they are ceremonially unclean. Because of that, they are ceremonially unclean. Like I said earlier, most of the animals that chew the cud or that eat grass, most of them are prey. They are clean. However, some of them, even though they chew, they do the same thing, but they're not clean also. You cannot eat. So basically, you cannot eat every animal. Okay, so it is ceremonially unclean for you. You may not eat the meat of this animal. You cannot eat the meat of this animal or even touch the carcasses. So you're not even able to even touch the dead bodies of all the marine animals, which is creatures that are in the water. You may eat both fins and scales. So you can only eat fishes that have scans, that have fins and scales. So the fin is like when you look at the fish, there's a little thing that's on the back. So those, if any fish has that and also have scales, you can eat them. So basically, you cannot eat any fish that have like a smooth body, basically like a catfish or shark or dolphin. So these are these are not lawful. People be like, but they have fin too. Yeah, but they don't have scales, and they are ceremonially unclean for you. So those basically they will consider abominable. You may eat any bird that is ceremonially clean. So you can eat basically any bird that is ceremonially clean. These are the birds you may not eat: the griffin vultures, the bearded vultures, the black vultures. So basically any sort of vulture you're not supposed to eat. What does a vulture do? A vulture, all they do is sit around and wait and eat carcasses. leftovers. So anything, so basically they eat scraps, whatever they can find, they eat. So the purpose is like if you see like when you see like a dead animal in the street, like sometimes you see like a dead raccoon or dead cat that get hit by a car, or like a squirrel that get hit by a car. Also, what do? You might walk around, you see like you see like a raccoon on the street. Normally you see like the animal control come in with their trucks and they pick it up off the side of the road and that's it. But, however, if 99%, sometimes what do you see? Whenever there's dead carcasses like that on the sidewalk, even on the highway, sometimes you see a deer get hit, like a turkey, wild turkey get hit. What do you see? You always see those birds, like a vultures, a raven. They send of the light pole. What do? They dive down, they start eating the carcasses. Why? Because that's their jobs. So you're not supposed to eat an animal like that. But guess what? There's still people that eat it. The kite, the falcon, the buzzard, of all kinds, all those kind of predatory birds, you're not supposed to eat them. See, you go, ravens of all kinds, also the raven, you're not supposed to eat them. The eagle, owl, the short-eared owl, the seagulls, the hawks of all kinds. So basically, this scripture, you're not supposed to eat any of those kind of, any sort of eagles, you're not supposed to eat it. Any sort of owls, you're not supposed to eat. Hawks, why? Those things are predators. They eat, basically, they feed on anything, basically. The little owl, the great owl, the barn owl, the desert owl, the Egyptian vulture, the cormorant, the stork, herons of all kinds, the hoopoes, and the bat. So and the other thing is, any creature that's look creepy, you're not supposed to eat them, basically. So because they are unlawful. All winged insects that walk along the ground. So any flying, any creepy insects like you see, you also not supposed to eat them. That walk along the ground are similarly unclean for you and may not be eaten. But you may eat any winged bird or insect that is ceremonially clean. So right now, when you read some of those verses right now, it doesn't give you like a clear description of why you're not supposed to eat them. But when you read Leviticus chapter 11, it will explain more in depth why you shouldn't eat certain meat. So this, like I said before, give like a summary of the thing you're not supposed to eat. You may not eat any winged bird or insect that is ceremonially. You may eat any insect that is ceremonially clean. You must not eat anything that has died a natural death. So you can't eat anything that died naturally. So you cannot do that. You may give it to a foreigner living in your town. So you can give it to a stranger, like basically the other nations. You can just give them that live near you. Or you may sell it to the stranger. You can also sell it to like a stranger. Like a stranger is not your fellow Israelite brethren, like the other nations. But do not eat it yourself. Because the thing is, the other nations eat anything abominable anyway. Like when you look at Moab, which is a so-called Chinese man, they'll snatch an animal on the street and eat it. Or they might find something on the ground, and they just basically take it, cook it, and boom, eat it. So these nations, they do it, but us as Israelites, these are not lawful for us to do. So the only thing we're supposed to eat is things that we are killed. And not only do we kill, they also have to be a clean animal that goes according to the dietary law. But do not eat it yourself. So you're not supposed to eat it yourself, for you are set apart, because we are set apart. We are the Lord's chosen people. We are a completely different level than the other nations. For you are set apart as holy to the Lord your power, or cap, that's the Heavenly Father Yahweh. You must not cook a young goat in his mother's milk. So you also not supposed to cook a young goat, and not just a young goat, any young animal that's in the mother's milk. Why? Because the animal haven't reached its full strength yet. It's still young. It hasn't been fully developed yet. So you can't eat something that's just born out of the mother's womb. So that's unlawful as well. So that's it for the lesson, man. I pray that's another edifying lesson to the flocks. And with the Most High, to this message that will be heard. And with that, I'd like to say, Shalom.